Bang, bang. What's up, guys? Lunch money time. It's Friday.
Okay, you don't have to
Friday.
do Rebecca
Rebecca
Black
Black.
every
We're going to start
Friday.
playing that as the theme music on Fridays.
No.
While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. I'm here with the beautiful and intelligent Polina Marinova. She's got a turtleneck on, kind of looks like an angel, kind of looks like she might go out and cut down some trees. Well, Steve Jobs wore a black one. You got a white one on.
Because I'm an angel.
It's because you're colorblind, probably. But don't forget now, lunch money. I just got assaulted right there on live television. Lunch money is sponsored by BlockFi. They've got 3 products. You can give them crypto. They'll give you a US dollar loan. You can buy or sell crypto on their crypto exchange. And my favorite product as an investor and a user is to earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account. You put your money in, it sits there, there's risk, do your own research, but they pay 8.6% APY, which is pretty damn cool. What is not cool is the social unrest.
Is the social unrest uncool or?
The social unrest. Here, what do you think about it first? Let's start. So for everyone that hasn't been paying attention, in the United States, there's social unrest occurring across multiple cities. Some of it is violent, some of it is not. What's your take first?
I think people are fed up with police treatment of certain communities, and basically it's boiled over, and now you're going to see social unrest across America because these people are sick and tired of it.
This is exactly what I said was going to happen. There are 40 million people who have lost their jobs. They are livid. They've been sitting at home. It has been like a tinderbox, just waiting to get lit on fire. This was the most obvious thing in the world to see coming.
But it's not just because people have lost their jobs.
Yes, it is. There are people who are livid. They are upset. They are mad at their government. They don't care about the virus. All they know is on a day-to-day basis, I had income, now I don't.
That's not why they're protesting.
I had a job, now I don't.
That's not why they're protesting.
What they are doing is the death of George Floyd was an accelerant. It's the same thing like the virus. All the economic issues, they were going to play out regardless. When the coronavirus hit, it was the accelerant. It's the pin that popped the bubble, and then we got all the economic issues. The same thing is happening here. The George Floyd death is horrible. People should be really, really mad. But unfortunately, this happens. There's multiple things. There's a death in Louisville that they're protesting, etc. These are serving as the catalyst for that unrest. And what you're seeing is a perfect storm of social unrest, because you have people who are already mad at their government. They were already mad at the situation. The socioeconomic situation that's played out over the last 10 weeks is so painful for these people. And then all they needed was a spark. And this death on video is that spark. And by the way, I hear them. Like, I actually agree that the way that the government has treated the people, it all comes down to one thing. They forget the government and the police serve at our benefit. They are here to protect and serve. They work for the people, the mayors, the governors, the president, every single thing from the national government, the federal government, all the way on down. They work for you, I, and everyone watching. The reason why people are mad is because they have voiced their concerns in every other way possible. And now they're bringing it to the streets. Yesterday, Polina and I were talking earlier this morning. I said to her, I watched an entire police department get chased out of a police station. They literally all got in their cars and they ran because of protesters. They ran away, and the protesters went into the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they burnt it. They literally set it on fire. And if you watch those videos, it looks just like Benghazi, where terrorist is what they were called when it's somebody that we don't like, when it's not our own citizens. It's no different. People are upset. They're mad. And the way to fix this is through strong leadership that which brings cohesiveness, which says together we are going to solve this problem. We are going to create the change needed. But what instead we're seeing is this divisiveness, right? This morning, there was a reporter that was arrested on live television. A CNN reporter was arrested on live television.
His whole crew was arrested.
It's just you can't start to eat away at the fabric of society because you lose the democracy. You lose all of the freedoms that the American.
So, okay, let me ask this. How much of this is, so of course people are blaming the police. It's a horrible situation. When the reporter got arrested, I watched an interview with him after he was released, and he said, "Yeah, I was like as he got handcuffed and walked with the cop, the state trooper. He asked them like, 'Hey man, we're just reporting. Like, do you have any guidelines on where we should stand and report next time so we're not in your way?'" And the cop was like, "I don't know, man. I'm just doing this because I got orders. Like I
Just
don't
follow my
actually
orders.
I don't actually know."
Look, if you flip around, so part of being able to analyze these situations is you have to be intellectually honest enough, right, with yourself and with the situation. If you look at this from the protester standpoint, I hear you. And honestly, these people are lashing out because they are the unheard voice, right? And they are now going to make their voices heard. This is not just one incident. This is a litany of incident after incident after incident that has now caused this situation. With that said, if you flip around and you put yourself in the position of the police deal with incredibly complex and hard situations every single day. And 99% of those situations go how they're supposed to go. The police are able to provide justice. They're able to provide order. They're able to protect and serve. There are some bad apples. We all know that. But I was asking a friend of mine who's a cop, when you arrest somebody, how many people say, "I can't breathe, I can't whatever"? And the thing is that everyone pulls out their phone. Everyone does all this stuff. And so the cops are in an impossible situation in that, unfortunately, they don't recognize what's right or not. And so what I wish that they would do is, rather than just pretend like it's never a serious situation, they treated people with humanity and dignity and said, "We're not going to kneel on their necks." That would probably be a good place to start. We're not going to ignore when people say they can't breathe, right? I get that they are desensitized to it because it happens every day, but that doesn't mean that because you're desensitized, you don't take it seriously. And so actually what I think is a huge issue here is we've done a poor job as a country in training our police departments. If you look at how they handle situations, it's always with the strongest use of force. It's always guns drawn, right? And what we can do is, instead, if you start retraining officers on how to handle these situations, I think you can actually diffuse a lot of the bad stuff.
Do you remember that situation on the New York City subway where these two guys, I think it was Sweden, or three guys from Sweden, and they like managed to get this guy who had a knife or a gun. This I'm not 100% sure, but they were able to get him like down, and like they were talking to him, and it wasn't violent. And they were like, they're just trained in a different way.
Well, I think part of it is you don't want to put the officer's life at risk, right? By the way, the reason why we have police officers is because most people don't want to do that job, right? They're sworn to protect and serve us. And there's a saying, I forget the guy who says it, but it's basically most people sleep at night because there's rough men ready to do violence on their behalf, right? And so when you think of it that way, it's, yes, there is a police force. But to your point, I think it's the training can help. And then also some compassion, some empathy, right? Understanding, look, there's 40 million people who have lost their jobs. They are going to have a higher rate of irritability. They're going to be more upset, all this kind of stuff. And when there's a catalyst like the George Floyd situation, it's bad by itself. You then layer in all of this kind of pent up anger.
I actually think this would have happened without the virus.
You think so?
Yes.
Do you think that it would be in every city or just Minneapolis?
I think it would be across the country.
Because the video exists.
Because the video exists, and it's one of those videos where it's like very hard to say it's not black and white. You see it, you see what happens, and that's it.
I think we agree that people would have been mad and outraged. I don't know if people would have gone out in the streets and burnt down the police station without all of the other anger.
I think there's just a lot of anger across the board, but I think that this is just, I mean, after a while, people lose their patience, say enough is enough, and that's it. And I think that this is in a series of events that we've seen on video. I think this one kind of like the cup ran over. What is the saying?
I mean, look, people forget, literally just a couple of weeks ago, when the jogger, there's a guy who was jogging, and there's all kinds of facts that are still coming out about it, but there's a man who was shot on the road by two private citizens, and one used to be a cop. And so you get in this situation of just, it's not good. So our message to everyone, please, 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 please be kind. Please be kind to people right now. Obviously, people are on edge. We spent 10 minutes and 15 seconds talking about it.
Okay.
We're done. Let's go. Softbank, what's up?
Softbank, first of all, there's two things going on. It's leading $500 million investment in Chinese ride-hailing firm Didi's self-driving unit.
They got cash, man. They're going to deploy that cash.
But they also have record losses of 18 billion, and at the same time, they're doubling the SoftBank's Vision Fund CEO's pay to 15 million.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's really hard to look at CEO pay type stuff. You can make the argument that
he's leading through a crisis.
Well, and they were going to leave. Like, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, right? Yeah. And so I'm always on the CEO pay stuff. Like, the data always looks horrible. You just don't have the context of the actual situation, okay. So it's hard to judge fair. Good or bad. But it doesn't look good when you double the CEO's pay as you're losing $18 billion for sure.
And in terms of Didi, I think they're just kind of trying to double down on what's already working because they know a lot of their other startups are going to go to zero.
I mean, look, self-driving cars are coming, autonomous cars, right? And this idea of a robo-taxi, which is basically, think of it today, you press a button and a car comes to pick you up, but it's got a driver in it. Eventually you're going to press a button and the car's going to come pick you up, but there'll be no driver. It'll kind of be like the Jetsons, if you guys ever seen that. And so Didi's going after this, Uber's going after this, Tesla's going after this, and they're making an investment. $500 million is not that much money of their fund. But still, it's $500 million. So
I think they're doubling down. I think they're already an investor in Didi, but now they're just in the autonomous driving division there.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're in a bad situation, and so like all of a sudden you become less risk averse, right? You start to take bigger swings because you got to get out of your hole. We're probably watching that happen. So we'll see. Industrious.
Okay. So Industrious is a rival co-working company to WeWork. And funnily enough, in 2018, I wrote an article about Industrious raising more money, but they had raised like tens of millions of dollars, whereas WeWork had raised like $1 billion. And I said at the time, which now looks not so good, I was like, well, you can't even compare Industrious to WeWork because WeWork is it just has more capital and it's the 800-pound gorilla. How the hell is Industrious going to compete against WeWork? And today we see that just because you have all the money doesn't mean you can compete.
What's the story of the tortoise and the hare, right?
Yeah.
And the whole idea is, as we talked about before, too much capital can kill a company. And WeWork definitely fell victim to that. Industrious, it remains to be seen whether they'll be successful, whether they'll actually get the IPO out the door in the spring of next year, but they're taking steps to do it. And part of it, I think that's pretty interesting, is just they've stayed steady. They've kind of done what they're supposed to do. And if you think of, we saw this with Uber and Lyft. Lyft was very kind of pragmatic compared to Uber in terms of the cash burn and how much money they raised and all of that. And both companies are doing okay. And so I think same thing here.
Is it a good idea to be in a co-working space right now? Like for your company to be in the co-working space as more and more companies are saying you can work from home?
Well, you can look at it two ways. One is, let's say that your headquarters was in Industrious or WeWork, and now some CEOs or founders may say, hey, look, we don't need that anymore. Like, everyone work from home. But also I know a lot of companies that say, hey, Polina, you're able to work from home now, but you live in a different city. We're going to shut down the New York office. And then you want an office because you don't, it's hard to work from home. There's distractions, whatever. So they'll get you a membership to a place like Industrious or WeWork, so you have somewhere to go. So I think it'll kind of net out. It'll be interesting to see, but I don't think we can make that call until
this will be the ultimate tortoise and hare story if Industrious manages to do an IPO, whereas WeWork did not.
All right, U.S. savings. What's going on there?
Okay, people are saving a lot of money. The U.S. savings rate hit a record 33% as coronavirus caused Americans to stockpile cash.
People are nervous and they can't spend money because they can't leave their home.
Hit a historic 33%.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's when you see the numbers, it's usually kind of around 10 to 15%. So it's almost double or more than double where it historically has been. But people are nervous. So what do you want? You want cash. Cash is king in times of uncertainty. So people are hoarding cash, saving. And then 2 is you can't go out to restaurants, you can't go to bars, you can't go to stores, you can't go wherever. So of course they're spending less money.
I've been like ordering some things online. But
guys, there's box after box showing up, and I ask her, what is it? And she's like, oh, this is like my shoes. This is a sports bra. This is this one.
Oh, I thought I mentioned my sports bra.
That's what came like 2 days ago. Is sports bra a weird thing?
No,
I might go order some underwear after this. Whatever. All right, what's going on with meditation apps?
I might need.
Are you shook right now?
I might need to use some meditation apps after this.
Are you shook?
Yeah.
Boxers or briefs? Leave a comment. All right, go ahead. What's going on with meditation apps?
Meditation apps are surging and down. I will not be happy with you, but I'm being kind to my friends. You see, guys, a person who is being kind. Okay. So mental health apps. So Headspace and Calm are seeing a surge in downloads.
Also, what's seeing a surge is mental health issues. There was a survey done by the U.S. Consensus, and they say 1 in 3 Americans are basically mentally uneasy. Is how, those are my words, not theirs. But basically things like depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff. And so this is kind of a correlated thing where if people are feeling that way, it doesn't surprise me that meditation app downloads.
Watch this.
What?
Have I been meditating lately?
Oh man, listen. As we all know, I can't do meditation because I fall asleep. Polina meditates. My life is fucking coasting.
Have I been calm?
Easy. Easy life. They say, what do they say? Happy wife, easy life? No, meditated wife, easy life.
Have I been calmer?
Yeah, you've been chilling.
Have you been calmer?
Yeah, well, I'm always calm.
No,
I'm
you're
chilling
not.
all the time.
Okay.
24/7, 365.
Next, can we do this in 3 minutes? Old Cognac. One of the oldest bottles of Cognac has sold at auction for nearly $150K. Guess how old it is?
Popping bottles in the club.
No, guess how old? Look at this bottle.
It's probably from 1850.
1762.
Oh, I was only off by 100 years.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
$150,000?
Yeah. That's not much.
That's like one good night in Vegas, whatever.
I need to go meditate. Okay.
Listen, popping bottles. Now, here's the question: is if you buy a bottle of alcohol for $150,000, that's more than what, 200 years old, or no, more than 150 years old or so.
Yeah.
Do you drink it or do you hold it?
Oh, wait, let me tell you the funniest.
Do you drink it or do you hold it?
You can't drink it. Look at it.
Yes, you can. It's alcohol.
I don't know. I wouldn't drink it.
I would.
So my family in Bulgaria. Do you remember when we went to my grandfather's house? Were you there were you there for the bottles?
What about it?
So rakia is the Bulgarian alcohol, and like you can like have it or make it or whatever. What? So anyway, so he has all these bottles of like, I don't know, 90-year-old rakia, but he doesn't drink. So it's really funny.
So they just sit there 90 years old?
Yeah.
And what is he going to do with them?
I don't know.
Maybe I should sell them for $150K a pop.
Give them as gifts. Okay.
Maybe I should sell them. Anybody want to buy a 90-year-old bottle of rakia? Hit me up. I got it.
Okay.
I'll give you a 50% discount, only $75K a bottle.
So Takeoff. Ready? How excited are you?
Hype. Tomorrow, 3:22 p.m. Get ready. SpaceX. We launching humans to space.
We're going to be live streaming, I guess.
Starting around 1 o'clock.
I was told
maybe.
yesterday.
Bring your pizza, bring your Bud Lights, and bring your rocket ships.
Tomorrow's your cheat day.
Let's go. Bud Light, water for the common man. Domino's, just pizza for the common man. And rocket ships. She's obviously meditated so much that she's falling asleep in the middle of lunch money. Again, we'll deal with this later. Tomorrow, around 1 o'clock, we'll be live streaming. It'll be awesome. And to finish out today, lunch money time. We are giving away $100 to people, well, one person.
To be kind to their friends. And to get this lunch money this week, tweet what kind thing you're going to do with it.
Take the URL, tweet it, use hashtag lunch money, and we want to hear, if we give you the $100, what's the kindest thing that you're going to do with it?
Thank you.
Tweet the URL, hashtag lunch money, $100 to the winner. I'll DM you. We'll send you the money. Do whatever you want with it. But just tell us what the kindest thing is you're going to do with it. Any last words for the people on a Friday?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but we did it in under 20 minutes.
Yeah, great. You look like an angel. That's it for lunch money today. While Wall Street's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. Be kind to your friends. Understand that the world is suffering right now. And we'll see you guys on Monday morning.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.